Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Now in today's video, we're taking a look at the NIKOTA META 2000. This is a battery backup solution, a power plant that is going to give you enormous flexibility because it actually has capabilities that I've never seen in any other solution before. First of all, this thing, not only is it going to supply power to up to 13 devices at the same time, it also has the ability to have Wi-Fi routing, cellular routing, because it has a built-in router. It's like blows my mind. So if you're looking for home usage, if you're looking for, let's say, camping, it's going to work. If you're also looking at tailgating, you can supply Wi-Fi to all your devices that you have at that tailgate and power them too. Now, from a power perspective, this thing packs a punch. You're talking about 2016 watt hours of power. It supports 4G, 5G, and Wi-Fi, and like we said, and you heard that right, it does have a built-in router, which means if you put in a SIM card and you have this camping, you have this on the go, it is going to be able to give you Wi-Fi, right? 4G and 5G through that SIM card. Now, if you are, let's say, at home and you're using this as a battery backup solution in case you lose power, it does also support where you can connect directly to it through the back. It has the WAN port, so you can connect your Wi-Fi, your standard internet that delivers Wi-Fi to your home, so it would work in that capacity as well. So literally, this thing has a built-in router. It also charges really fast. We're talking about 1.5 hours to have a full charge, and as I mentioned, it can charge up to 13 devices. It can charge 2 of them wirelessly. It has on top of it 2 wireless chargers. Now, from a port perspective, just to give you a sense of how much charging capacity you have 2 USB-A ports that are going to give you 12 watts each, 2 USB-A ports that have fast charging at 18 watts, and then 2 USB-C 65 watts. Lots of different power options. Now, this thing has a variety of ways that you can charge it. You can charge it via solar, plugging it in and using solar panels, wind. You could use your car for it because it includes an adapter that allows you to plug into the cigarette lighter and charge the thing. It also has electrical charging, obviously. And then the last thing about this thing is that it also has the ability to jumpstart your car. Plus, if you're camping at night, it has some, a mosquito repellent light. They thought of everything. So it has lights, and then it has a mosquito repellent light so you can have the lights on or see things and not have to worry about the bugs. Now, taking a closer look at the META 2000, very striking looking power station. But not only does this power station pack power, right? It also has something that makes it unique, if not one of the only power stations on the market. And that is that it has a built-in router. You heard that right. It has a built-in router. That means that if you have a SIM card, 4G, 5G, that basically is that you can get from your carrier, not only are you going to be keeping the power going with the solution, but you can also have your network going. And it does have a full functioning router built in, and we're going to see that in a couple seconds. And you can kind of get an inkling of that because as you take a look at these antennas, right? So I've seen other units that basically have Wi-Fi or cellular connectivity, but the cellular connectivity is really relegated to monitoring the unit, being able to turn it on, turn it off, because it comes with a smart app. These antennas are there to allow you to use this as if it was a Wi-Fi router to support all your connectivity. The cool thing about that, and you'll see there in a second, is that that connectivity can be handled in one of 2 ways. First, it could actually have a Ethernet cable connected and use this as your router. You heard that right. This is your router. Or what you can do is have a SIM card and use this as a mobile solution. Tailgating. This would be superb for tailgating. Camping, or even using this at home. This is one of the solutions that I think that not only can it be in the outdoors, but this is a powerful solution in the indoor too. Now let's just talk about some of the specs for a little bit. First of all, and I get this question a lot about these little plants, how much does this thing weigh? So looking at just 33 pounds, so this is relatively light. You do have a rated capacity of 2016 watt hours, but check this out. If you think about the output, what's the output on this? 2,300 watts. With a surge capacity of 4,000 watts. 4,000 watts. And you have a lot of connectivity. So here you have your 2 USB-A. You have also here your QC USBs, and you can see it by the colors, right? So that's going to give you fast charging. So if you're plugging this into your Samsung phones or any kind of phone that can take that Qualcomm fast charging, you got it there. And then you have your Type-C connectivity here. And if that wasn't enough, then what you have is these AC outputs. Check it out. AC output, right? And then over here, you have, if you want to plug in like cigarette lighter type output. If you take a close look, you're talking about having 13 different devices connected at the same time. If that wasn't enough, on the very top, as soon as you power this baby up, you do have 2 wireless charging pads. So you can put your phone, your earbuds, anything that can charge wirelessly, you can put it here on top too. So tons of options when it comes to, again, charging capacity. The other thing that you have going on, and I want to show you this, so if you're on the road and you're using this to charge things on a campsite, you have this little guy right here. Now, the cool thing with this little guy is that if you turn on your car, you plug this into the car and plug this to the back of this unit, right, this power station, you can use your car to charge it up. And it charges pretty fast. Overall, if you have it plugged in, and I have the electrical outlet on the side here, it charges in just under 2 hours. So that's pretty fast, given the capacity that you have here. And if you're on the road and you need to jumpstart your car, here you have jumper cables, right? This connects to this area here, and then you're able to jumpstart your vehicle. So you have a lot of options. Now there's other things, and I'm just going to power up for a second so you can see some of the things that are going on here. So it's already powered up. Very colorful display. We'll talk about some of the things that are going on here in a second. But what you can do and what you have is you notice these little areas right here are lighting areas, right? So you actually have a couple lights that I'm just going to show you in a second that really also extend the utility of this power station. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to power up the light. Press it right here. You can see how the light lights up all the way around it. This is really going to give you a really nice light depending on the area that you're working in. Really like the way it looks. And you also then have another light on the side that will turn on. And you can see how bright that is over here. And these lights are mosquito, I would say not friendly for mosquitoes, except for this one. Because this one is white. This is going to attract the bugs, right? But you can see that you have this one on this side. You have also different things or flashing options that you can have. I'm not going to have it right on camera because it will blind everybody. But what I like about this one over here is that if I turn this on, this kind of here still illuminates, but it's not going to attract the bugs. So that's really nice. And then I like this one too because I just think that will push this button again. This just looks so cool around it. So that's another lighting effect. Now you have a lot of things going on here. First of all, you have that the unit is turned on, and you can see like this little tree saying that's 100%. You can say how many hours you have of power, how much is being consumed right now just by having the unit on. You have the ability to turn on different areas, and all you have to do is press and hold this button, and you'll see an indicator here at the very top letting you know what's on. Now, with the power on that you see right there that we just turned on, if I were to put my phone here on top, I'll just make sure it hits the sweet spot. Right now, it started wireless charging, right? So it's now starting to consume power simply just by putting it right there on top. The other pad will also do the same thing just by putting something right on top. So it's really nice that you can just go ahead and just power it up. And you can see that it already started indicating that there's output because my phone's on top charging. So that's going to do that wireless charging really nicely. Now, if you want to turn on some other ports here, what you do is you just come over here, press and hold for a couple seconds. And when you do, it's going to light up. So you're going to see some other options that will show up. So we're going to go ahead and do that, press and hold, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We'll do press and hold. You'll notice that it says AC out, so these are currently on. If I press and hold this guy right here, right, now all of a sudden I have my USB, I have my Type-C, and then I have also DC output, so those are enabled. Now, as soon as I turn them on, you'll notice that things are changing. It right now switched because it's trying to determine how much output is coming, if any output is coming at all. So that's why it's kind of like going through these numbers to determine how many hours of power it has. Now, the powering up and maintaining power to these is going to use some power. It's not going to use that much power, right? Because it's right now intelligently trying to figure out if anything is connected to any of these ports. But after a couple seconds, it's going to determine how much is being drawn. And then what it will do is it will adjust this calculation and show you how much power is being consumed. Now, for those of you who are curious about how does the wireless charging work, just want to show you a closer view of it because we saw it turn on, but it wasn't something that you can see easily. You'll notice that wireless charging kicked in. We'll move this out of the side for a second because both of these pads you can use for wireless charging. Over here, you have a built-in handle, which is going to allow you to carry the power plant, which I also love this design because it just makes it really easy for you to move it from point A to point B. Remember, it's only 33 pounds, so this should be okay for any adult to carry. And once again, we'll take a look at the back so you can see what's going on there too. Now, in the back of the power plant, there's a couple things going on. First of all,
this is your power, right? This is your AC power, and this is the one that you would connect if you want to be able to power it up using, again, that adapter, the cigarette lighter. You have, again, WAN. So this is going to be if you want to use wired connection to, this is like your cable provider or some other provider. And then these are all the LAN ports out. Again, this is if you want to have hardwired things. So it has that built-in router. You can do this just Wi-Fi, right? You can, if I turn this on, right? You'll notice as soon as I flip the switch, you see this little light right here indicating that the router is actually enabled. It'll start up, and if I connect to it, because it does have an access point, I'm going to be able to have a router administration page, which we're going to show you in a second. This is the area where you would put your SIM card. You could use rechargeable SIMs if that's something you like to do, or you can use that physical connection, and then you have these antennas. Really changes things. So this is why I think that not only is this suitable for home use, but this is also suitable for camping, but then tailgating. You know, imagine having your friends around your tailgating party. You have internet. You're not only powering your TV, but you're also then providing internet for everyone who's there. Super cool. All right, guys, so now check out this type of experience. Now, this is what you're going to be able to expect in using this specific unit in the kind of setting that I'm describing here. Imagine you're working from home, running your business from home, and you lose power. Right now, we have this large 40-inch screen basically being powered by the power plant. Not only that, but we also then have my MacBook Pro being powered at the same time. Everything is coming in through here. This basically power is supplying the monitor. The monitor has PD out, and the PD is actually getting my display and actually doing everything all at once. If I were to look at how much power I have left, it's indicating that it's about going to be about 26, 27 hours. We're right now consuming around 88 watts of power. Now, it's sucking up quite a bit because my MacBook Pro is at 0. So right now, my MacBook Pro is demanding. It wants to be fed. Feed me, feed me. So it's sucking up quite a bit. The monitor doesn't really take that much to power, but what will happen is once this MacBook gets to the point where it's full, then the charging rate will drop and the demand coming on to the Meta 2000 is going to be lower. But everything is running seamlessly from here. Now, keep in mind, if I didn't have power, this right here, this would be my router too. Now, we went ahead and we reduced the size of the window so that we can get everything on screen. I just want to show you how complete of a solution this is. So first of all, you do have a setup wizard. For those of you who are inexperienced setting up routers, you have system status, right? So this is going to tell you everything about your router, the version of the software. It's going to tell you about your operator if you have it connected via a cell. If you go into your network, you'll notice that there is a lot of things you can do. LAN settings, IP and MAC binding, WAN settings, URL filters, port forwarding, DMZ, firewall, APN settings. Now, we're not going to go through all these things, but if you have a router, you've configured your router, hopefully right now this is blowing your mind because you're saying that is a power station? Because these are like legit router settings, right, that you're going through. APN list, and you can see all the things that we have right here, network setting, and then a flow assistant. So I'm just gonna go through just to scroll up a little bit so you can see what's going on here. It actually sees that my Mac is connected to it, so you can see my MAC address and everything that's going on right there. And if I go into the Wi-Fi configuration, I can go basic, I can go the Wi-Fi filter, I can do Wi-Fi clients, VPN settings, serial services, again, media, right? I can go into the system here, modify local time, update and reset it. So it is firmware upgradable, which is also great. And then you have your logout. Here you have details as far as your language, and then if there's any SIM card inserted. So this has a full functioning router built in, which is just mind-boggling because it's the smartest power station on the market when it comes to connectivity. What else can I say?
So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.